Today we're replacing a dash on a Hyundai Elantra. Here's our new dash here that we're gonna be installing. It does look beat up. We got cracks on it. I even gotta do a little bit of a VIN swap on the VIN tag. You might be questioning me right now, like, why am I gonna put this in my car? This thing's a piece of shit. But a piece of shit cracked up dash that's free is better than one that's has an airbag sticking out and is completely folded out. So I think they'll look be a little bit of an upgrade right here to put this one into here. It might be a different color. I'm not gonna fix this up, make it look nice, because I don't feel like putting money into this. It's just an old car. You don't want to put money into stuff like this. But let's get this dash into the car now. When I do a removing installation job, what I like to do is I look back at my new piece here. Well, new piece. I like to look around, seeing different areas that needs to be unbolted from. So you can see here we have a clip or some type of bolt system right here. Something broke off because there was a piece that went right here at one point. I'm not too sure what happened with this. I can maybe fix that using the older piece over there. You can see areas right here where there's needs to have been bolts. So I'm assuming it's a lot of the odometer. You got some HVAC. You got the radio. Over here we got a few more bolts right here too. I'm not too sure if I had to remove a steering column, even the plastic piece right here yet. I'm hoping I don't, but let's go and look at the bottom here. Looks like we have some clip that goes on right here, and what we're missing on the other side is over here. We got a bolt or some form of system right here. We got a bolt right here. So what I'm gonna do is keep in mind is I gotta look at the back piece right here. So maybe this opens. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of look into it. I might start off by just removing the the front areas right here, and we'll kind of just slowly go from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my phone down, show you a little bit of a timestamp. So as I was kind of just opening things up here, one thing I noticed is we got 3 clips right here. So this slides on like this first, and you just kind of just pry outward from this left side here. So I just pry like this and then pull out, because we have these slider things right here. I'm not sure what these clips are called. I just know that these right here, you want to pull these out and then slide this out. So it's pretty simple stuff. And now we have some bolts here exposed, which includes the actual dash. Looks like we have this bottom that's also attached, and then this top right here. So we have 2 10mm or whatever these might be. So I believe these are 10mm. Pretty simple stuff here. I think I should probably bring down the glove box to kind of get better view here. But from what it looks like I do need to remove these bolts right here, these 4 bolts. One of my clips got stuck in here, so I'm gonna have to remove this. Let's go ahead and continue doing this so far. So as I'm looking at this other new dash here, I noticed that there's also a bolt inside where the vent is at. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off the vent from this car right here and just kind of take a look in there. So once I pried it upwards, I just kind of went from the bottom and just pull it up, and it popped out easily. Looks like there's a 10mm hidden in there. That should be a pretty simple. Next bolt that we're gonna be looking at is this top little area. There's a hole randomly in this top dash, so I can only assume there's gonna be something hidden there that removes this dash there. So we're gonna go ahead and open up that top. So I just checked out to see what that piece was, and apparently it was a sensor. I'm not quite sure what this sensor does. It is a Hyundai OEM sensor, so I'm just gonna keep going. But that top piece was just a sensor. It wasn't a bolt of any kind. At least I didn't see a bolt in there. So as we keep going left, I'm noticing that there's gonna be some bolts on the bottom of this dash here. We're gonna go ahead and remove, looks like 5 bolts, maybe 6 if that's not included. We're gonna go ahead and see what we got in our situation here. So as I open up this glove box, there is this clip that goes kind of inside right here, and there's this wire it's like a yarn. It kind of connects it into the glove box. So it's kind of on the top front right here. Kind of just took this piece off the wire and it just fell off this wire. And I kind of, in order to remove the actual glove box, I squished it from both sides like this. Kind of pushed it inward with my hands and it just fell out. Make sure you clear out your glove box if you're doing this in your car, because I dropped all my junk on the floor. But let's keep moving on here. Forgot to also mention that there's not exactly bolts, but there's Phillips screws in the bottom of this dash. I'm just gonna remove them all because it looks like in my case here, yeah, just remove them all. Remove every single bolt you see. Mosquitoes were really destroying me, so I had to change into actual pants, boots, and a long sleeve. So I removed every single bolt here. It looks like the last thing I gotta remove here is this. I'm gonna unplug those two. Problem is I'm not really sure. I guess black is top and blue one's at the bottom one. I'm just gonna unplug them just to kind of see if I can. Those suckers are on there good. Maybe the bottom needs to be removed then. I'm gonna go ahead and look at it. I ended up removing this clip. Now I'm not unsure how I removed it, but I'll just look at the old videos or my old clips that I recorded. But yeah, I ended up just removing the those two like that. I should probably keep them from grounding on each other. Probably one thing I should have probably mentioned is you probably should remove the battery. I'm too lazy to go back and remove that battery, but fuck it, here we are now. So now that I have this glove box department here gone, I'm gonna start putting in a lot of these bolts back in. One thing I like to do, good practice, is put the bolts back in where they came from, so later on when you're coming back to this, you'll remember where they're at, because they're already in the place that they belong. So I'll demonstrate what that means. So I put every single bolt back into this place. I put some of the ones that are kind of more important kind of backwards, just to kind of put them on, as you can see right there, so they're not holding onto my dashboard. So my dashboard's still loose, but all the bolts are still in. There's just one right here that I did not put back in, but that was because it's up here and it's kind of hidden underneath this plastic right there. But I'll keep it in mind that this bolt right here belongs up there to right here. And then I have the switch, and then I have this piece right here for the glove box. But other than that, I got the rest of my stuff here. I just gotta memorize where all this goes. The next piece of the puzzle now is going to be this front area right here with my dashboard, my HVAC, and then my radio controls. It's gonna be a little bit interesting. It seems like it's simple stuff, just gonna be that plastic trim, and there's a few bolts that should be made obvious real soon once I remove that plastic trim. But my plastic trim is already pretty much apart here. I just gotta unclip a few other locations and we should be okay. As I was pulling this trim off, I noticed that there's two Phillips screw bolts right here, or screws, at the very bottom of the trim. It looks like it's attached to this outside trim right here. So I gotta remove that in order to remove this piece right here. So I got the main dash out now, or the trim. So we have two sensors that was kind of right here in the driver's side. Or no, there was only one. I'm sorry. There's only one sensor that was right here connected. These are pretty simple sensors to remove. There's like 3 of them on top right here in the middle where the radio's at, and there's one at the bottom. And it wasn't the hardest thing, especially because my trim right here was already pretty much removed out already. But we have this now. Now we're here where we have our main bolts now that are kind of exposed here. It's not anything crazy, but I'm gonna be removing all these bolts right here on the sides and kind of just slowly see if this right here can get all removed here. Alright guys, it's been some time now. A lot of time's passed. So far I've removed all these bolts. I put them all back in their rightful place as well. I've had the top clips here that I had right there break off, but I guess that's a normal thing on this so far replacement here. There wasn't really much sensors that were onto this thing. This one had what, 2? The other one had 1, and then the I guess the antenna cord. And you can see it all right here. It was all pretty much common sense. The next portion here I gotta do now is just removing these bolts from this right here. You kind of see everything the way it's set up there. There's only four Phillips screws in the sides, and so two and then another 2 on the other side. Other than that, we're getting very close here to removing this dash. So far it has been quite a bit of work. I've broken that clip bolt right there too, but so far we're getting pretty close to this coming out. All right, so I'm now gonna remove these bolts right here, these bottom ones, and I do believe I gotta remove this bottom piece right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and look around and look for some bolts that I see. Looks like there's a few on one right here. There might be one hidden in here, but other than that, it seems pretty already loose somewhat, because I think there is bottom bolts hiding, because this plastic piece right here goes all the way down. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep messing around with this a little bit. So just to kind of show you guys, this top piece right here was just clipped on. It was just these 2 bolts right here that was kind of mostly holding it. But I just kind of just get a fly head and just pry it back, and it's all loose now. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep finishing up. Oh, there's this bolt right here in the bottom right here. It's gonna be also need to be removed. I got the dash pretty much as much bolts as I believe there exists on here. But some reason I'm having a hard time here. I'm wondering if I gotta remove these A-pillars right here. Maybe these A-pillars are blocking me. Let's go ahead and take a look at the old dash. Let's get this old dash right here. It does look like we're getting blocked right by A-pillars here. That might be the final blockage. So I had a hard time removing the A-pillars. Had some strong enough clips that they actually broke off on both sides on the top. I used a hammer to actually pry. It did the job. Alright, as I was destroying the dash pretty much, I realized that there's 2 bolts right here at the bottom. Here we have bolt 1 and bolt 2 right there that connects to the airbag module. I believe those gotta go too. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove those before I keep removing the dash. So I got the dash removed here, and it collapsed on me as I was removing it. It just completely disintegrated. So that's kind of fun. I'm not too sure if I can reuse anything from here. I was hoping to reuse some of the plastic, but I don't know if I can now. So here on this side right here, we have a broken piece right here. I used to have a piece right here where you can bolt things down, so it keeps this side pretty much attached. Technically, I can probably go fine or be fine if I just leave it like this, but we do have the other part right there. We can probably just easily kind of use the other plastic and cup and put it right here. So this is as close as I can get it. I didn't really measure at all, but you know, this is pretty good. It's pretty sturdy too. Might even be stronger than what it was before. All right, guys, let me show you guys where I'm at with this now. So I ended up dropping the steering wheel. There was not enough clearance at all to put this dash in. So I dropped the steering wheel. I removed these 2 bolts that were holding it up from right here to the top 2 brackets. And I also removed the shielding. It was pretty simple. It's only 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts holding this right here, and then 2 bolts holding this top steering rack, and the thing dropped. All right, guys, after a lot of fight, dash is kind of on. Bolt is in on the top right here. So I did remove the steering wheel brackets on the bottom, and I did push down the steering wheel all the way, much as I could without removing it. And that's how I got this thing on there. Your guys' situation, just make sure you just remove this bracket. There's 2 bolts on the top right here. They're like right here. There's these ones right there. Just one right here and one right there. Remove those 2, and your guys' when you guys are doing this, and your guys' I guess Hyundai Elantras. We're getting pretty close, guys. I had to also fix this side right here. It's pretty sturdy now. It's a little bit easier to fix a side that's already like broke, because then you can pretty easily match it. So it's pretty much perfect. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to call it a night. I live in a neighborhood, so it might be a little too loud. It's already about to be 11, about 11:30. But we're gonna go ahead and call it and put my tools away. I'll be back at it tomorrow. See you guys next clip. Day 2, rain. I'm gonna go ahead and just finish this as fast as possible. I might have to not really record a lot of this. I mean, I could probably actually just set up my phone and just leave you guys right here as I do this. But just letting you guys know, some of it might not be recorded, or the rest of this right here. I still gotta figure out how I'm gonna fix this glove box situation here, because the glove box here needs to be done, and that bracket might not be good, what I just did there. So I just finished installing this trim piece right here. It seems pretty good, actually. We're not looking too bad right now. This already looks a lot better than what it did before, because we had a big cracked dash, airbag sticking out right here. Had some bad defaults in areas right here, but seems like we're doing pretty good here now. We're on the right track. We got at least a lot of these panels in. Even at the bottom right here, this is pretty good. We still got to put this vent, this A-pillar, the other A-pillar, and then that glove box situation here. We still got to figure out what's going on there and how we can fix that. All right, so I was looking at this a little bit more, because I was saying how I might have a little bit of a hard time doing this glove box area. Let me see if I can show you guys a little bit right there. But I was kind of looking at it a little bit better, and it might actually work. So I'm gonna attempt to install this glove box on there, kind of the same way I did it, taking it off. And maybe if I kind of force things in a little bit, it might work out on me. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a try here. as I'm installing this, I completely forgot where these wires even go to. I'm gonna have to look back at my old videos to kind of see. I went back to my old clip and seeing this right here, and it seems like it was already loose, so I'm just gonna leave it tucked in. But it does seem like I had to install this piece back in, which should have been I don't even remember this piece. What even was it attached at? Oh, it was right here. Yeah, so this was right here, so I had to reattach this piece as well. I'm not really sure what the last thing I said was, what I was doing. My phone ended up dying, but I ended up installing the glove box, just in case you guys didn't see that. It's not perfect. We got some gaps right here. It's actually loose, if anything. It's not perfect in the interior, but it's a lot better than what it was before, because now it doesn't look like the car was in a crash. Now it just looks like a piece of junk now, which is better than being in a crash. A piece of junk, better than being in a crash. Moment of truth. We have all the electronics started here. We have light in the cigarette lighter area. Kind of what I'm hoping here for is that at least my odometer works here, and AC controls, and that's mostly my main concern. But let's turn this car on. Okay, so far car turns on. Let's turn off these wipers. It seems like our RPM gauge is working. Our fuel gauge is on, so we got an odometer. It even tells us how much miles we got. We have a time. Radio turned on. Let's see if AC controls work. Oh, yep. Let's see. I'm not sure if there's a light in here. I'm not too sure. It seems like everything's fine. Just this A-pillar just kind of came out a little bit, so I might need to replace the clips on this. Let's go ahead and go on a small little test drive just to kind of confirm there's no glitches or anything like that. Let's go on a little test drive here. First thing I'm noticing here is the lights for the AC, they're not turning on. I don't know what happened there, or I'm not sure if I remember there being lights. Maybe there weren't lights right there, and I'm kind of just being paranoid. Another thing too is I tried turning on the radio, and I think I got it to, yeah, I have the I should have it on, but I'm getting no sound. So with no sound, maybe I didn't connect the sound. Something happened there, but that's our only bad electrical issue on our dash. Let's go ahead and actually move this car now and see. So that's the end of this video. Dash is inside. Kind of weird looking, but it's complete now. So thank you for watching, and if you ever want to do this for your car, I would suggest not copying my video to do this, because I did not show a good example of installing a dash for this car, nor did I do a good job. But, you know, I did get it done, so that's enough.